Hey, everybody, welcome into a live edition of Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us for this special Thanksgiving edition of Seahawks Today. I'm joined by Jeremy Chugs as we are just hours away from the Thanksgiving holiday. And before we get started, this is our build-up portion of the show. We encourage you to file in, shout out your city wherever you are watching from today. Jeremy Chugs is in the house with me as well. Jeremy, how we doing?
All I want for Christmas is you.
We're still another month away from that.
When can we start playing Christmas music?
I think it's officially acceptable after tomorrow.
So after tomorrow.
After Thanksgiving.
After the Vikings-Patriots game.
Let the Thanksgiving holiday breathe a minute.
We have to have our final NFL game. After Vikings-Patriots, you're in the clear.
Yes. We are coming at you from Dallas, Texas, the Chat Sports Studios, and I am here today, and then once this show ends, I got to get on the road and head home to Tulsa for the Thanksgiving holiday myself. So that's where I am at. Dat Fat Rat checking in from Mexico. I see Terry in Post Falls, Idaho.
Michoacan.
Bill Miller in Sandpoint checking in. Let us know where you're watching from today as we'll crack open a cold beer and enjoy ourselves here on this fine Wednesday afternoon. We're on a little bit early because we want to enjoy our holiday weekend. We get a couple days off, so we figured we'd come at you and get started just a little bit early before we
Dat Fat
go
Rat.
after that.
Let's see. Let me read it for a second.
You give it a shot first.
Anguamaquitero, Michoacan, Mexico.
I think that's pretty close. That's better than what I can do.
Anguamaquitero, Michoacan.
Anguamaquitero, Michoacan, Mexico. I butchered it, I know that. Troy checking in from San Antonio. Jaden Norris in the house from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Oregon Ducks not in Oregon, checking in from Ohio today.
Ohio.
They got a big game against Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Dat Fat Rat says close, but nope.
Close but no cigar.
We tried. We gave it an effort to figure that out. Also, as you file in, hit that like button if you would. We got to get 50 likes to officially start the show today. So I'm going to put it in the chat right now. We're at 31 viewers at the moment. All of you, as you're checking in, smash that like button if you would.
Teddy G in
so
Lake
we can get
Stevens.
started. Lake Stevens, Washington. I see Spokane is also in the chat today. Let's see. Ohio, Fort Wayne, San Antonio. We've got a very diverse audience here checking in. What are you guys thankful for? With Thanksgiving coming up tomorrow, a time to reflect and really just count your blessings, as they say. Jeremy, let you start. What are you thankful for? You've had a good year, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had a pretty good year. I'm thankful that I'm healthy. I'm thankful, that I am where I am. I'm thankful for family, friends, Tyler Jones. Who couldn't be thankful for that smile? And I'm thankful for all of y'all guys for joining us every week. Me and Tyler, two stupid 20-somethings talking about your Seattle Seahawks, and you join us every week, and we love it.
Jeremy, you put that well said there. What I'm thankful for, I'm thankful for my family, my friends. Get to work with great people like Jeremy every day. Jeremy and I, we're desk mates, and it's always a party each and every day. We sit with our buddy Mitch Renz, and we got a great crew going on. Thankful to be living here in the great city of Dallas, Texas, and talking about the NFL all the time. Jeremy, it's crazy to me. Just we talk about being thankful and grateful.
Yeah.
What we get to have the lives we live every day. It's just stupid, isn't it? That we get to do this. We get paid for it too.
We got free Chipotle today.
Yeah. I had that Chipotle bowl. I'm sitting here. If you would have told me at this time, about a year ago, you're going to be talking about the NFL, getting paid to drink beers like I am here, and get free food every day too. I mean, and live in Dallas, it'd be a pretty good life. I'd take that. Seigan's thankful for God, health, prosperity, family, and sports.
Hell yeah.
Dat Fat Rat, thankful for my family, food, love, sports, and overall life. Chris is thankful for every breath. That certainly puts it to perspective right there. I love everybody chiming in. Let us know what you're thankful for in the comments section.
And you know what, Tyler? I'm
What's
thankful for established titles.
I am too. Seahawks Today is presented by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, and more. Makes for a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or a Lady, we can build our little Seahawks Today kingdom together. Established Titles is actually running a massive holiday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support the channel here at Seahawks Today. Also, we want to get to, as we continue to ask you guys what you're thankful for, I'm seeing Tom and Trina are thankful for Denver. That's a very good answer. Jaden says his wonderful girlfriend. Bill says Geno and for you guys. Well, thank you, Bill. That means a lot. I see Chris says heck yeah to Tom about the thankful for Denver. Yeah, certainly so. Let's show the happy hour menu. Here's what we have. What we're offering today on Seahawks Today is we're here with you an hour early. It is happy hour. These prices you don't get anywhere else. Cheaper than any game day by far. Any super chat gets you a shout out. You get right on the air. $2, you can ask me or Jeremy Chugs anything. $5, we'll take a shot. I got tequila in hand today.
Ooh.
I'm feeling a little spicy today. Ooh. So $5, I'll take a shot of tequila. $10, I'll chug a beer, chug my Michelob Ultra in hand. And for every $150 that comes in, we will take down the boot. Also, a $100 super chat, or a total of $100 for each individual, gets you a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. And we are now up to 4, 7, 10, 13 members in the Boot Hall of Fame. I would love to induct some more members into the Boot Hall of Fame today. So let's see if you guys come up with. If you want to join the Boot Hall of Fame, if you want to get the Thanksgiving party started a little bit early with us, then let's see if you want to send us a super chat or get on the Boot Hall of Fame, whatever it may be. Let's have ourselves a good time today. What's your confidence level in the Seahawks winning the NFC West? The Niners are now the division leaders. They have the tiebreaker with their win they had against the Arizona Cardinals on Monday night. Although the Seahawks and the Niners have the same record, that edge goes to San Francisco right now. They'll play again here in a couple of weeks on Thursday Night Football. But right now, though, with the Niners having the edge, I still think the Seahawks are going to win the division, but I think it's going to be very close between these two teams, Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be I think it's going to come down to the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
Coming down to that, and then, the tiebreaker.
Right. Right.
That's going to be huge.
I think that game, when they face off here in a couple of weeks, is going to be very, very important.
Oh, yeah.
For that division race. It could decide who ultimately wins the division. Confidence level, asking you guys in the comments section. So far, I'm seeing Chris says 93% confidence level. User from DeFi09 says 85%. Mr. Mertman says 99.9%. Massey B says 112. I like that. Tyree says Seahawks got it. Seigan says 89%. I would put the number at, and this is more so out of respect to the San Francisco 49ers, like Tom and Trina said. San Francisco is tough. San Francisco's played a lot better football as of late. Jimmy G is playing maybe the best football of his career right now. Out of respect to San Francisco, I'd put that number about 65.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at as far as confidence level of the Seahawks.
I'm a little bit higher than you.
Okay.
69.
Nice.
Tyree, what do you think about the Seahawks signing Aaron Rodgers? That's a great question, Tyree. And you know what? You can start getting your questions in right now using hashtag Seahawks. So, Tyree, you can ask that same question. Just put in hashtag Seahawks before, and we're going to answer them for you.
Yes. We will do not one but 2 live mailbags today.
And with 40 people watching, great chance that we're going to answer your questions. So start getting those questions in right now. Hashtag Seahawks. You have questions. Tyler has answers. It's as easy as that. Just use hashtag Seahawks in your comment so I'm able to put it up.
Yeah.
So Tyree, ask that same thing, but in your comment, put hashtag Seahawks at the end.
And if you super chat, then you can skip to the line. Your question will get answered first before anyone else is at that point. So, yeah, like user from the 509, I see your question there. Use that hashtag Seahawks to get on the mailbag. That's how that works. So, and granted, folks, I know that we're off to an earlier start today, so we weren't expecting as many people as normal, but we'll see. Tell all your friends here that usually are here with us at the later time to get here now, since we had this early start today to the show. I understand that people are still working at this time. We get it. You might have to watch the replay later, but nonetheless, we're going to make the most of what we have and have a good time today no matter what.
That fat rat.
100 pesos on the spot for a spot on the boot. I'll say that's going to have to be a no, that fat rat. But nonetheless, use that $ box in the chat to get your super chats in.
And see, just like Tom and Trina doing right now, get your questions in. Use hashtag Seahawks.
Right. Yeah, hashtag Seahawks to get your questions in. There we go, user from the 509. Hashtag Seahawks. You got to figure it out now. Good work. Good work. All right. Ready to start the show, everybody? If you are, go ahead and like today's video. Smash that like button if you want to get started with today's edition of Seahawks Today on this Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. If you're ready to start the show, I need you to hit that like button right now. Smash that like button, everybody, so we can go ahead and get started. We have our poll question as well. 46 votes in so far. Should the Seahawks sign Donta Hightower? 63% of you say yes so far. 37% say no at this point. So we'll continue to follow that. We'll talk about Donta Hightower in just a few minutes from right now as we get into it. So that and more coming up on today's show. Let's tell people what's coming up, by the way. We are going to talk about the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors in just one moment. We'll also do 2 rumors mailbags, and we will also do a preview of the Seahawks and the Raiders coming up on Sunday. We'll tell you everything you need to know, go over the injury report and all that on today's edition of Seahawks Today Live.
Ooh, should be a good one.
Should be a fun show. Whoa, I'm seeing a Raider fan in there. Whoa.
Sergio Orozco.
What up, Chugs? And a not-so-kind gesture to the Seahawks there.
That's my guy.
Sergio, thanks for joining us. Hope you still have a good time with us Seahawk fans today on the show. Before we get to the segments, one more time, the happy hour special. For people that are just now joining us, our audience is
Sergio,
doubled here.
You can get Tyler messed up right now. That's all I'm saying.
Sergio, you want to punish some Seahawk fans here? Here's an opportunity to do so. Any super chat gets you a shout out. $2, you can ask me or Jeremy Chuggs anything. $5, I'll take a shot, and I got tequila in hand ready to go.
Sergio, F this man up.
$10, we'll chug a beer.
Let's
$150, we will take down the boot. And for every $100, get you a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. 13 members so far. We'll do an induction ceremony for you anyway. Wouldn't that be interesting, too, Sergio, as a Raider fan? If I had to give Sergio a spot on the Seahawks boot, that might hurt me a bit, but I would be willing to do it if Sergio sends in $100 for that spot on the Boot Hall of Fame. So that's what we're offering on today's show. We'll go ahead and get started here. Charlie getting a little aggressive about the Raiders already. An old AFC West rivalry between these two teams. Rivalry renewed coming up on Sunday. The Raiders have been a hot mess this season. One of the biggest disappointments in the league this year. Josh McDaniels was just a terrible hire, to say the least, with what went on there. Dropped my pen. Hold on a second here, folks. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Christopher, what's up, man? Good to see you here. I'm offering, Christopher, if we get to $150 in supers today, we'll take down a boot. So, so that is on tap. We also are doing shots on sale for $5 a piece. $2, you can ask me anything. $10, we'll drink a beer, whatever you have for it. Would certainly appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Seahawks Today live on this Wednesday here an hour early. Let's get to it. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors, everything you need to know about your favorite team. Should the Seahawks sign a free agent, potentially, with options on defense? We'll dissect a couple players to keep in mind for your Seattle Seahawks. Also, a notable linebacker is making his return to the team. We'll tell you who that is. And who is wide receiver number 1 in Seattle? Is it DK Metcalf? Is it Tyler Lockett? We have some advanced analytics to get to that we will explain coming up in just a few moments from right now. Now, Seahawks fans, if you're someone that signs, if someone signs, you bet, well, break it down. If someone signs with the Seahawks, we're going to cover it here on Seahawks Today. So never miss a moment. Subscribe to the channel. Any of these free agents that we're talking about, for that matter, you're going to find out right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/SeahawksTV to never miss a moment. All right, the first free agent that we will discuss here is Benson Mayowa, a defensive end, and this is an interesting option for the Seahawks when it comes to the defensive line with Benson here. Here's a guy that previously played with the Seattle Seahawks the last 2 seasons. He had 30 tackles last year, including 1 sack and 3 tackles for loss. 2020, the year prior, had 24 tackles, 6 sacks, and 7 tackles for loss. And he's already had 2 stints with the Seahawks. Go back to 2013, numbers weren't so great there, but he could be somebody to keep in mind of maybe a reunion of some sorts. Granted, the defensive system is different now than what Benson played under when he was last in Seattle, but maybe it's an opportunity to bring him back to this team fresh after not playing so far this year. Somebody to keep in mind. The name I really like to keep in mind is Dont'a Hightower at the linebacker spot. Dont'a Hightower has had a very good career at this point in time. And you look at this Seahawks team, once you go beyond Jordyn Brooks, there is a significant drop-off at the linebacker spot. They haven't gotten the production they want out of Cody Barton at this point in time. Last year, we saw Hightower finish with 64 tackles, a sack and a half back in 2020. He did not play. He opted out with that COVID year. But you look at this linebacker room, and I think Hightower is a guy that immediately gets into the rotation, and we see him get playing time right away. You see this group with Darrell Taylor, Jordyn Brooks, Cody Barton, Uchenna, and Nwosu. I love what I've seen from Brooks, and I love what I've seen from Nwosu. But beyond that, there's some real question marks. And Hightower could be someone that I think would be a natural fit if you were to throw him in to this Seahawks linebacker room. So with that, we have a couple more names to get to in just a moment. But before we do, should the Seahawks sign someone for a playoff push? Look, here's the deal. I know some of you are going to say, why should they consider signing somebody when this roster's already looking like a playoff team as is? Well, it's your job as John Schneider and for Pete Carroll to put the best roster possible out there. And if there's somebody that can improve this team, they ought to consider it. So That's how I feel. What say you? Let me know in the comment section. Type S for sign, type P for pass if you think Seattle should sign somebody for this playoff push. Number 3 on the list is DeAndre Baker. And I know what you're thinking. Look, Tre Brown just got activated. And Sidney Jones, you cut just a couple of weeks ago. But this is, if you're looking for somebody when it comes to cornerback options, this is the best guy that's left. The former Kansas City Chief, his PFF grades back in 2021, an overall grade of 60, run defense grade of 67.8, pass rush grade of 60, and coverage grade of 56.9. For me, what I look at with Baker, it's not a guy that I'm signing tomorrow, but Baker is the first phone call I make if you're Seattle and something were to happen. If Tre Brown doesn't quite look right, if he's not 100%, or if there is an injury at the cornerback position to, God forbid, a Tariq Woolen, Mike Jackson, Kobe Bryant, whatever it may be, DeAndre Baker's the guy I'm picking up the phone and saying, hey, we need somebody, get here now. DeAndre Baker would be the guy I consider to slide right in for that cornerback spot. And then there's Sheldon Richardson. Sheldon Richardson we've talked about on this program before. And Sheldon Richardson has had a very good career. The question just becomes, how much does he have left in the tank at this point? That remains to be seen, quite frankly. How much does he have left in the tank? And I don't know necessarily. You look at what he did last year with the Minnesota Vikings, finished with 39 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. And the last season that he had 5 sacks or more, you have to go all the way back to 2015. He did previously play for the Seahawks as well. Go back to 2017. He was there for a season, had 44 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. But just like what we mentioned with Benson earlier, the system is much different now that Sheldon Richardson would be walking into. So there's a few names to keep in mind if the Seahawks were to add to their defense potentially for this playoff push. Coming up next here on Seahawks Today is DK Metcalf, the Seahawks' number 1 receiver. Maybe not. We'll explain here in just one moment. Before we do, Seahawks Today is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You could officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit card, plane tickets, dating profiles, and more. Makes for a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will be effectively next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance, depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or a Lady. We can build our little Seahawks Today kingdom together. In Established Titles is actually running a massive holiday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support us here at Seattle Seahawks Today. Establishedtitles.com/chat to get that extra 10% off. Let's talk receiver now, and the folks at SB Nation's Field Goals did a deep dive in breaking down Tyler Lockett versus DK Metcalf, and the numbers that they show that Tyler Lockett is the better receiver, at least right now anyway. Get this, according to analysis from 538, that's Nate Silver and the gang there, Lockett is ranked as the 5th best receiver in the entire National Football League for 2022. DK on the other end, all the way down in 35th. So isn't that interesting to see, based on this year's statistics, how things have gone there. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, DK got all that money. I mean, he's the future of the franchise. He's been really good the last few years. I get all that. I get what you may be thinking there as far as who is the future. But right now, Tyler Lockett's leading the way. And I know some of you are going to sit here and say, well, why not DK Metcalf here? What is necessarily going wrong with DK? And you look at his statistics, 48 catches, 581 yards, and 4 touchdowns. DK's played fine. Tyler Lockett's just played simply better at this point in time. Metcalf, I mean, I look at it this way. I like DK and I like Tyler Lockett. I don't think that there is a wrong answer to this equation here. Some people are going to throw get pissy and sit here and be like, well, DK's that guy or Tyler Lockett's that guy. If you're the Seahawks, I wouldn't even call this a problem, but people will say it's a good problem to have. Both guys are really good. You look at the numbers from Tyler Lockett, 54 catches, 640 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a 40-yard long here. I'm a fan of both players and think that both of them have been major assets to Geno Smith in making this offense work. You can call them 1A, 1B, whatever it may be. I don't quite care, quite frankly. To me, it doesn't matter who that number 1 receiver is between the two. The thing I look at is beyond these two that you get to that number 3 receiver and there's a significant drop-off. So these guys lead the way, whether you want to call one the number 1 receiver or the other the number 2 receiver. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter to me. They are the ones leading the way, and they both are assets and enjoy playing with each other. So with that said, here's what we want to do next here is we want to ask you a quick question. Who's the better receiver right now? Is it DK or is it Tyler Lockett? I won't judge you based on what your answer is. Like I said, I like both guys. I don't have a problem with either one of them being the number 1 receiver, however you may see it. If you think DK's better right now, type DK. If you think Tyler Lockett's better, type lock and add that lock symbol to it, the lock emoji on your keyboard as well. Whatever it may be, let me know in the comments section who's the better receiver right now. Is it DK or Tyler Lockett? Let me know. All right, quick update on Jon Rhattigan. It's been a while since we said his name. Rhattigan is returning to the Seahawks practice squad, finally healthy after what's been about almost a calendar year since the last time that we saw him play. Very good news for the Seahawks. We'll see if he can work his way onto the 53-man roster. But we mentioned earlier the Seahawks lacking depth at the linebacker spots at this point in time. I wouldn't rule it out if Jon Rhattigan can get up to speed and can clear things within that 21-day stretch of coming off the IR and PUP list. We could see very well that Rhattigan maybe end up on this 53-man roster and get some playing time before the season ends. Before we go, as always, you can follow me on social media at Tyler Jones Live on Twitter, Instagram, Tyler Jones Live as well, and Facebook. And I will see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. Appreciate you joining us. All right, so we got some super chats to get to in a moment. Before we do, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dessert? My answer, it's pretty easy. I love me some cheesecake, some strawberry cheesecake to be specific. And you put the whipped cream on it. I go with the graham cracker crust. My grandmother always made cheesecake for every holiday, especially on Thanksgiving. She passed away a couple years ago, but I love strawberry cheesecake specifically, and when I have it, I think of my grandmother. Luckily, my mom makes my grandmother's homemade cheesecake recipe, so I'll be having some of that tomorrow.
Perfect.
Yes. How about you, Jeremy Chug?
Well, you didn't even tell him the other pie.
Oh, and then my other grandmother, who Jeremy Chugs will like this, we call Mimi. She makes a caramel pie that literally, it's as simple as it sounds, folks. Pie crust, homemade caramel, and whipped cream, and it's just to die for. It is thick. It is THICC thick, okay? And, I mean, it's so good to make your tongue slap your brains out, folks. I mean, that's what I'm talking about on that pie there. It's my favorite type of pie. So those are my two favorites. How about you, Jeremy?
My grandma makes a delicious. It's like a what's it called? A key lime pie, but instead of lime, it's lemon.
Okay.
So we call it lemon icebox pie. I make these like peanut butter, also like these like peanut butter candy cookies.
Okay.
Delicious. It's like a peanut butter Rice Krispie.
Seen in the comments here, Tom and Trina, chocolate cream pie. User from the 509 says pumpkin pie. Troy says pumpkin pie. I also see rest in peace to my grandma. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Caramel pie sounds 100. It is 100, Charlie the Unicorn.
100.
100. Dat Fat Rat says strawberry cheesecake as well, to be honest. It's a good choice. Charlie with another good one, bread pudding. I like bread pudding.
I like bread pudding, but I feel like nobody in my family just knows how to make it, I guess.
Okay.
No, nobody's made it. Like, whenever I'm out, like at a restaurant, I'll get some bread pudding.
Yeah. Bread pudding's solid. Can't go wrong with that. Time to pay off some super chats here as Brian's eating that pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is good, but I think it's a little overrated, to be honest.
I like pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie's all right, but I'm going to eat about 4 or 5 different pies before I go to the pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Personally. Spider Fan says, my birthday is this time of year, and get Oreo ice cream cake. I love ice cream cake.
That sounds good.
All right, Sergio, the Raider fan, I owe shots to Sergio, and I have the tequila in hand ready to go. Ready to take this shot at tequila. So, Sergio, even though you're a Raider fan, salute to you. Happy Thanksgiving, Sergio. Here's some shots.
Dat Fat Rat, pumpkin pie's overrated. No, it's not. Pumpkin pie's good. Pumpkin pie's really good.
Sergio, thanks for the super chat there. Jaden with a $2 Ask Me Anything. Sergio smells like corn chips and B.O. Whoa, shots fired from Jaden.
Wow.
Okay. Are we going to get a little battle going between Sergio and Jaden here?
Maybe.
I mean, that's quite the shot there. Corn chips and B.O. I like corn chips. Can't say that, I'm not a B.O. guy. I make sure to.
You're not a B.O. guy?
I am not. I make sure to wear my Old Spice deodorant every morning.
Mm-hmm.
No one likes anybody with smelly pits. By the way, a little FYI for the people out there, for those that are watching. Don't be the guy that doesn't wear deodorant. There are people, you get on like a bus, for example, and there's like one guy that's not wearing deodorant. And like, you should be kicked out of society if you're not willing to wear deodorant. I think that's a reasonable thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sergio's laughing
and then
at that one.
Doug, thanks for the $1 super chat.
Thank you, Doug.
And with that, keep on super chatting.
Yeah.
And use hashtag Seahawks. We're about to do a mailbag right now. Get those questions in.
What's up, dude?
Hello, Marshall Green.
We'll make a little road trip.
I thought you were off today.
Marshall Green.
Get my shirts.
Oh, you had to get some shirts. Okay.
Yeah, do some laundry.
Oh, nice.
Got some tequila over there?
Oh, yes, I do
Some
have
tequila?
some tequila on hand. Yeah, some Patron.
$5.
$5 for a tequila shot. I've had one so far.
We get one right now, I'll do.
Okay, here we go, folks. 2-for-1 special. $5. Marshall Green, our Giants host, will also take a tequila shot with me. $5, we'll both take a tequila shot if you send it in. I'm going to put a minute on the clock. Who's going to send in $5 in this next minute to get me and Marshall drinking here?
Let me go get my fireball.
Okay, and Jeremy's going to go get some Fireball in hand here.
I'll take
Okay, so Marsh's.
do this thing.
You did. You're a pro at it. Put yourself on screen so people can see. See your lovely face, Marshall Green. Yeah.
Let's go.
There we go. Not Jeremy Chugs, but Marshall Green.
Much better looking.
Whoa. Shots fired.
You don't just get a widow's peak like this every day. Jeremy Chugs, he just doesn't have the ability to grow the widow's peak like this. Look, TJ doesn't have a widow's peak.
I do not.
It's a rare feature,
and
and it's peaking right now because I'm about 3 weeks past a haircut.
So here's what I did. I got my hair cut last night, and I went with the bald fade.
Good.
Thanks. First time I've done the bald fade.
It looks good, though.
And then I got the faux hawk going on top,
The Cougars better watch out. I'm not talking you of it.
Oh, yeah? Ooh. Bunk. Sergio, I'll wait here a second. Charlie, who has got the $5 super chat to get me and Marsh a drink here?
Saigen has a widow's peak. He definitely gets the lead.
Oh. Marshall blue and green. Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got it.
Jayden with $5 super chat.
We got it.
So I think that's and we're going to be drinking here. So we got a little battle today. It looks like between Jayden and Sergio.
I got a shot.
Okay.
I got you a shot, Sergio.
We'll all drink together.
Three. There's three of us.
Yes, there's 3 of us and 3 shots to pay off.
Do I get a mini boot?
Yeah. Yeah, these are a little bit taller than Kyler Murray.
A little taller than Kyler Murray.
A little taller than Kyler Murray. Happy Thanksgiving, my
Happy
friend.
Thanksgiving to the Seahawks.
Marsh.
I still hate you guys, but shout out to Sergio. Shout out to Jayden.
Marsh, I'm thankful that we're friends and we work together.
I'm thankful for you too. That's right.
We're thankful for Jeremy Chugs.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
That's way more than a shot.
Whoa.
This is way more
Oh.
than the normal shot.
That was powerful stuff right there.
This shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. The 12s, there's some partying.
Yeah. Sergio and Jayden. So, the little battle going on here. Sergio's at $15 and Jayden is at $7. Who's going to come out on top today between these two?
Jayden. I go Jayden.
You're voting Jayden?
Give me the results.
Okay, let's see who wins today. Sergio or Jayden? A little super chat battle. Sergio representing the Raider fans. Maybe somebody else wants to jump in here too and try to compete with these guys, but I hope, no offense, Sergio, that we don't see Sergio as a Raider fan come in here and win the super chat battle today on behalf of Raider Nation by himself.
I think he can do it. Raider Nation parties.
Raider Nation knows how to have a good time.
They get down.
You've been a part of those parties.
Oh, yeah. I'll be part of it on Sunday.
Yeah, you're going to be at the Raiders show.
I'm going to be across enemy lines. I'm going to be with the Raiders.
Ooh.
That's who I rock with. Raider Nation.
Oh, Jeremy is with us on Wednesdays, but Sundays he belongs to Raider Nation. So
I belong.
you belong to Raider Nation. Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
They own you.
All right.
Yes.
Last chance to get those questions in.
Yes, last chance to get those questions in. I'll take a drink. Okay. Hashtag Seahawks in the comments. Super chat skipped the line. Let's show the super chat menu for those that are just joining us and also wondering what they might be getting themselves into if they want to take down Sergio in this super chat battle. Any super chat gets you a shout out. Oh! Okay. Jayden with a $20 super chat. We'll get to that here in just 1 second. Let me go to the rest of the menu. $2, ask me anything. $5, you can ask me or Jeremy Chugs. Or we can take a shot. $10, we'll chug a beer. $150. For every $150 that comes in, we will take down the boots. We are now $43 in, so that means we are $107 away from chugging a boot. And for every $100 you send in, you get a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. Even if you're already on the Boot Hall of Fame, you can get another spot and send it to somebody. You can put somebody else on there. See you, Sam. You can put somebody else on the Boot Hall of Fame, or you can be on it again, whatever you're feeling. Jayden with a $20 super chat. He had to go Hawks earlier. And then he also had, and then Sergio had the $10 on behalf of Raider Nation. And then Jayden fought back and said, I'm on the Boot Hall of Fame. He's not on my level. Shots fired. That's 2 beer chugs for me, Jayden. Jayden is going after Sergio today. And quick math, I believe Jayden's taking the lead over Sergio by about $10 here so far. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, it's, what is it, Jayden? Send me your number. Is that 25 or 30 that you're at? 25 to 15 right now. So 2 beer chugs for Jayden. There's one. One more. 2. So let's see how this goes today. Jayden, I believe in you. Seahawks fans, I believe in you. Don't let Sergio come in and beat you guys. Sergio, I want you to challenge the Seahawks fans. Sergio, I'm excited to see you here. Glad to have you here, man. But let's see if this. Yeah, I mean, Jayden's saying that he's not on this level. Let's see how this goes down. Can we take down Sergio the Raider fan. Can the 12s come together? Jaden, he's ready for a fight. Let's see what goes down today. Mailbag coming in. Okay, here we go. Jaden says 27-15 is the score right now. Oh, calling him out head-to-head. I like that. Jaden, you going to run up the score a little bit? I'm very curious. I'm rooting for Jaden, but you know what, Sergio? I want to see you put up a good fight too. So, the Quad Father. When did this channel become a big drinking game? It pretty much is every Wednesday live show and during our game days as well. Yes, Quad Father, that's how we roll around here. We'd love to have a good time and party here on Seahawks Today. Mailbag coming up next. Use the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get to the front of the line and to get your questions in here on Seahawks Today Live. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. You have questions, you're in luck because I have answers. It is time for another award-winning Seahawks Today mailbag. And you may be wondering, how do I get to be a part of these mailbags? Well, you're in luck because if you subscribe to the channel, then you would know when our live shows are, and you can get into the chat and send your questions in. Whatever is on your mind about your favorite team, I'm willing to answer. Super chats get priority, and then people that use the hashtag Seahawks get their questions answered as well. Send them in. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss a moment. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. First question comes in from Tom and Trina. I am thankful for Denver. I am very thankful for Denver as well. And the Raiders, who the Seahawks face this week, obviously. Thank you guys for beating Denver. As Denver continues to pile on the losses, that draft pick for the Seahawks continues to get better. Remember at the beginning of the year, there were some people talking about this team potentially tanking their pick, the Seahawks. And I said to you after a few weeks, I'm like, don't worry about tanking, because there was still a crowd of folks that wanted to tank. I said, don't worry about it. Seahawks need to keep winning football games because the Broncos are taking care of the tanking for you with their draft pick. If the draft were held today, the Seahawks would hold the number 5 pick in the draft, courtesy of the Denver Broncos. So, Denver, thank you. Not only did the Seahawks get rid of Russell Wilson and all that money, but all the draft capital that came in and the great draft picks, thank you, Denver. Next question. What happened to Tyreek Smith, the edge rusher? So Tyreek Smith, they drafted out of Ohio State, and he got injured pretty early on in the offseason, and we haven't seen him since. I imagine that he'll get out there at some point in time, that we'll see Tyreek Smith in a Seahawks uniform, but probably not anytime soon, quite frankly, as far as that goes with Tyreek Smith. Very talented player. I thought the Seahawks found a steal with grabbing him on day 3, but it doesn't look like that he's probably going to be on the active roster anytime soon after that injury he suffered in the offseason. Aaron writes in, could the Seahawks trade DK for a first and a second? Okay, so this is an interesting idea, trading DK Metcalf here. Now, I know some of you folks out there are not happy with DK's performance considering how much he's getting paid now, that his paycheck is up a significant amount. And there was statistics that were thrown out there this week from the guys at 538 that showed that Tyler Lockett has been outplaying DK Metcalf. But here's the deal. I mean, you could probably trade him for a first and a second, but why? Why would you do that? I mean, I'm all in on DK Metcalf. He is maybe my favorite player on this Seahawks team. The sky's the limit. There's a lot of potential there. Everything's going to be fine with DK Metcalf. I'm not worried that his numbers aren't as good as Tyler Lockett's. Quite frankly, the Seahawks need him, and he'll figure things out as far as I'm concerned. So I want to trade DK, but if that's your prerogative, if that's what you're thinking, I won't hold it against you if you feel that way, but I'm not interested in trading away DK Metcalf, quite frankly. Now, be honest with me. Would you consider trading DK for the right price? If so, what is that said price? That is our pinned comment today. What is the right price to trade DK Metcalf? All that money is being paid, potentially free up some cap space, get some draft capital out of it. I wouldn't do the move, but you tell me. Would you consider trading DK for the right price? If so, what is that price? Let me know in the comment section. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Get your votes in and tell me what that right price is. Chris writes, do you think the Seahawks keep Geno next year or draft a quarterback in this year's draft in the first round? So the Seahawks have said that they will would like to extend Geno Smith and bring him back next year and give him a multi-year deal. Okay? So I do think Geno Smith is coming back. As far as drafting a quarterback in the first round goes, I think it's possible, but I think it has to be one of those deals where the Seahawks fall in love with the guy. It's not going to be like last year where you had, potential quarterbacks in last year's draft, Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett. There were some people that wanted the Seahawks to draft a quarterback just because they needed a quarterback. Well, they did their scouting, and they said, look, we don't think any of those are first-round talents, and so they passed on them. So if the Seahawks do their scouting and they see, we like C.J. Stroud, or we like Bryce Young, or Will Levis, whoever it may be, then that could make sense. But if there isn't a guy you are in love with at that quarterback spot, then you don't worry about drafting a first-round quarterback this year and you wait till next year. So potentially, you got 2 picks. Not out of the question, but I don't think it's necessarily a guarantee that you are going to spend a first-rounder on a quarterback. That Fat Rat writes in, #Seahawks, if Seattle were to replace Jamal Adams, who could they sign, trade for, or draft? Jamal Adams' contract, it is tough to move on from him next year. I don't think anybody's trading for Jamal Adams with his injury history and how much he is getting paid. But as far as other options go, that's a very good question of potentially who they could sign, trade for, or draft. I think the route that they would look at is the draft to replace Jamal Adams. I don't think you want to trade for another safety again. Quite frankly, maybe you make a deal, bring in like a Buda Baker type or something like that. But to me, I think the route for this Seahawks team is they're going to be looking to the draft, and that's their best point of action and see where things go from there. But you're not replacing Jamal Adams right away next year because his contract just doesn't make sense to move on from with the way that it's structured right now. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, use the promo code Seahawks125 to get a 125% deposit bonus. You may be wondering, what in the hell does that mean? Well, if you put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free. It's a great deal. Go to chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125 to get your bets in. Now you can bet on this Sunday's game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Seahawks come in as a 4-point favorite. The over-under, 47.5. What bets are you going to get in? I like the Seahawks to cover. Over-under, that one's going to be interesting to me. I don't know necessarily about the over on that, but life's too short to bet the under. Get your bets in now. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125. Next one. User from the 509 says, Will Anderson with our first pick, hopefully. I love Will Anderson. I have talked a lot about Will Anderson over the last couple months. To me, he is the number 1 player in this upcoming draft. I am of the belief that if you have the opportunity to draft Will Anderson, you draft him, and even if you are desperate for a quarterback, you figure out the quarterback situation later. Will Anderson is that good that you take him first, and then you figure out the quarterback situation after that. So Will Anderson, he would be awesome. I'd love to have him in Seattle, but even if the Broncos, let's say, have the number 5 pick, I don't expect Anderson to fall that far. I think he should be the number 1 pick. I'd be surprised if he goes past 3. Temper Frames writes, do you think the Seahawks draft an edge rusher with their first pick in the 2023 draft? They could. I mean, it's certainly possible they could draft a edge rusher, but I look at this draft and, I mean, where this Seahawks team is at with how well they drafted in 2022, you almost think to an extent you can go best available with your picks based on how much you have filled up the gaps with younger players, with younger talent at this point, not having to pay them a whole lot here. People are going to point to certain positions here and there. I'm open to the possibility of looking at best available and figuring out that's how well you've built your foundation with this Seahawks team, quite frankly. So, yeah, it could happen, but we'll see. What's the Seahawks' biggest need this offseason? Is it on defense? Is it on offense? What is it for this Seahawks team? Let me know in the comments section what you think it is for the Seahawks in 2023. Jed Norris, a real one, he writes in, #Seahawks, what do you think we'll do with Rashad Penny next season now that we have Kenneth Walker? Well, Rashad Penny is going to be an unrestricted free agent in the offseason, and I do not think the Seahawks are going to bring him back. He has not been healthy. We know that he's a very talented football player, but the injury bug has just hit him too much, and when you get past, year 5 and year 6, get into that territory, things don't get better. They get worse when it comes to the injury bug on that front. So I don't think Rashad Penny's getting another contract. I think he'll be playing somewhere else next year, and quite frankly, that's fine. Best of luck to Rashad Penny, but I don't think that the Seahawks are going to bring him back. Alex writes in, trade for Zach Wilson. Ooh. Zach Wilson, or as I like to call him, Mormon Ryan Leaf. Zach Wilson's been awful in New York. And that Jets team is a lot better than all of us thought they would be in 2022. But it's not because of Zach Wilson. They've been winning in spite of Zach Wilson. So I am not interested in Zach Wilson. He's not a very good leader. We've seen that already. He doesn't know accountability, doesn't know how to take blame. For Zach Wilson, there's some raw talent there, but he hasn't been able to put it all together. And he has not been able to read defense as well. I have not liked what I've seen from Zach Wilson. If I'm trading for Zach Wilson, I'm not giving up much. I'm not opposed to the idea, but I'm definitely not giving up a day 1 or day 2 pick at this point for Zach Wilson. I think that's something where I would not even start him over. I wouldn't start him over Geno Smith. If you're bringing in Zach Wilson, it's to be your backup, and then if something happens to Geno, if he struggles or gets hurt, then you give Zach Wilson a shot. But no, I'm not interested in trading for Zach Wilson for any significant value. It had to be a very cheap trade as far as I'm concerned. But thanks for the question there, Alex. As always, you need to subscribe to the channel as we're covering the Seattle Seahawks each and every day. And we have another awesome watch party headed your way coming up on Sunday for the Seahawks and Raiders game. We're going to get started about 3:30 Eastern time, and a kickoff is at about 4:05. So we'll get you ready for this game, tell you everything you need to know, react to the game in real time, have a few drinks as well, and do our live post-game show as well. Don't miss it. Seahawks and Raiders live here on Seahawks Today coming up on Sunday afternoon. You won't want to miss it. All right, so folks, time for a little game plan here. We're going to do our game preview here in just a second. But what do the Seahawks need to do in order to beat the Raiders? Get loud in the comment section. What needs to happen for Seattle to get it done? Jeremy Chuggs is back with me. I'll start with you. Jeremy, what do the Seahawks need to do to beat Las Vegas?
I think for the Seahawks, you can't shoot yourself in the foot. You got to run the ball. You got to run it. Their defensive tackles have not been well. Running in between the tackles with K9.
Right.
And I think, that like running the ball, that obviously that's a big sign. But I think also Geno Smith, letting him kind of let it rip. The Raiders have not been able to get pressure on quarterbacks, and their secondary has not been able to hold up. So I think with Lockett and Metcalf especially, the Seahawks can air it out if they want to.
So there's two things in particular, and we'll talk about this in our game preview here in just a second. If you can find a way to slow down Josh Jacobs, who's played really well this season, and then take away Davante Adams, which is a tall task, but if you can find a way to take him away, game over.
Yeah.
I mean, those two guys.
That's going to be a hell of a matchup, Tariq Woolen against Davante Adams, to really see where Tariq is at.
And I would think if I'm, Seattle and preparing for this matchup against Davante Adams, I would want to put Quandre Diggs over there and do some stuff when it comes to adding some extra protection on Davante Adams, because as much as I like Tariq Woolen, that is a tall task for a rookie to take on arguably the best receiver in the league.
Pat Surtain, the second, is really good, and he got cooked.
Yeah. So just for the safety of Tariq Woolen, for dealing with Davante Adams, I'd like to see Quandre Diggs, Quandre hasn't played great. This could be a good time to turn things around and show what he's made of, what he's worth, if he can play a good game.
Raiders have quite a few injuries, too. They don't have Hunter Renfrow. Darren Waller's out. So
they're going to have to get the ball to Davante.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are you guys saying in the chat? I see run with K9 a lot. O-line and D-line need to show up. Slow down one player, Davante Adams. Cover Davante as much as other receivers are out for the game and stuff the Raiders run as best as possible. Brian says, I think we need defense in the draft. Troy says, talking about Geno and Zach Wilson, I see if we cover Davante Adams, we should be pretty good. Pound the rock with no turnovers, points on the board in defense. Safety over the top all day long. Adams in the slot. Tariq and Adams put Diggs over the top. Stop Jacobs. Okay, so very interesting to see what you guys say. I'll go over my keys to victory here in just a second. Real quick, our audience has grown a lot over the last few minutes here. We have, I believe, 2 more segments to go. Show you guys the Super Chat menu here, what we're looking at. Our happy hour menu. Here's what's on tap. We are at $43 right now, so that means we are $107 away from a boot. Every $10 we chug a beer, $5 we take a shot, $2 you can ask me or Jeremy Chugs anything that's on your mind. In anything, we mean anything. And any Super Chat gets you a shout-out on the show. So that is what we're offering on the happy hour menu as we get ready to preview the Seahawks and the Raiders coming up on Sunday afternoon. Glad to have you with us for this early edition. We were on here about an hour earlier for Seahawks Today, as we're going to get out of here later and celebrate the Thanksgiving weekend with our families. But thanks for making us a part of your Wednesday afternoon here on the channel. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Hope you're having a great Thanksgiving weekend. And on today's show, we will get you all set for your Seattle Seahawks, their matchup taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And here's the deal. Before I give you my keys to the game, go over the injury reports and all of that, I need one favor. If you want to beat the Raiders, then like today's video. I've been told that it's scientifically proven that if you like today's video, then the Seahawks are more likely to win Sunday's game. So don't be that guy and jinx this and be the reason why the Seahawks lost to the Raiders because you didn't like the video. So if you want to see the Seahawks win this game, like today's video, and we'd certainly love your support. The Raiders and the Seahawks. This game's a lot different than I think we thought it would be at the beginning of the season. The Seahawks stand at 6-4. The Raiders at 3-7. The Raiders have been one of the most disappointing teams in the league this year. They brought in a new head coach, Josh McDaniels, right after making the playoffs a season ago. And this year has been just a disaster for this Las Vegas Raiders team. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they've been one of the best stories in football this year to be 6-4, tied for the division, right in the thick of the playoff hunt. How is this necessarily going to go? The odds have the Seahawks as a 4-point favorite, which is very interesting because the odds have not favored the Seahawks a whole lot this year. Meanwhile, the over-under is set at 47.5. Should be a high-scoring game. If you want to bet on this game, want to bet on your Seattle Seahawks, or the Raiders for that matter, or any game across the National Football League, BetUS is the place to get your bets in. Chatsports.com/bet. promo code Seahawks125. You get 125% deposit bonus. Put $100 down. You get $125 to spend for free. Seattle favored by 4, over under 47.5. What is your bet going to be? Who do you got? You going with Seattle or you going with Las Vegas? Let me know in the comments section what your bet is for this one between Seattle and Las Vegas. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125 for this one to get your bets in now. You'll be glad you did at chatsports.com/bet. All right, let's go ahead now and look at the injury report. And the Seahawks got some very good news this week in regards to Tre Brown. Tre Brown is returning, expected to make his season debut this week against the Raiders. And what's going to be interesting to follow with Tre Brown, what is his role going to be? We've already heard from Pete Carroll say that he thinks that he'll play on the left side and that he'll compete for playing time right away with Mike Jackson, who holds that spot and certainly provides some depth. It is a very nice addition to have a young player like Tre Brown who showed some promise last year as a rookie before he got hurt. The other injuries for the Seahawks, Jon Rhattigan is questionable. He returned to practice this week. We'll see if ultimately he gets elevated or not, but nonetheless, good to have him back around. Dee Eskridge is questionable with a hand injury. The Seahawks have been inconsistent when it comes to that number 3 wide receiver position. Marquise Goodwin has had the edge at times, but we'll see what he can do if a Dee Eskridge can come back there and get some playing time. Damien Lewis, an offensive guard, is questionable with a leg injury. Meanwhile, the IR list for Seattle, Alton Robinson, Isaiah Dunn, Darryl Johnson, and Tyler Ott. The update we got from Pete Carroll on those guys is that they are all on track to be back here soon. They're making good progress. So unlikely that they get activated for this game, that we see them come back. But nonetheless, good to see those guys at least showing progress, showing good signs that they'll be back on the football field sooner rather than later. So let's go ahead now and dive into my keys to victory. What's it going to take for the Seahawks to take down the Las Vegas Raiders? Let's start out with Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, I love the guy personally. He's from my hometown, from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Followed him his entire career when he was playing his high school ball at Nathan Hale High School in Tulsa, then went on to Alabama, and now what he's done in the NFL has just been spectacular. This year, when the Raiders did not give him his fifth-year option, he's had a prove-it year of some sorts, and he has certainly proved a lot. With 930 yards rushing, 7 touchdowns, averaging over 5 yards a carry, he has been spectacular this year. And it all starts there. Every successful team in the league has to establish the run. And if you look at across the board around the league this year, the teams that are winning football games, that are leading their standings, are teams that run the football. Well, the Raiders, that's not their issue. They've been able to run the football fine. They just can't do everything else right. And so for Seattle, you got to do what you can to minimize Josh Jacobs as much as possible. Number 2, another top weapon for the Seahawks, or for the Raiders rather, is Davante Adams. And Davante Adams came in that trade this offseason, and our Raiders channel was just off the charts with Mitchell Renz and company when that trade went down. And the Raiders have gotten their money's worth out of Davante Adams. Look what he's done the last 3 weeks. 7 catches, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week against Denver. The week prior, 126. And then against the Jags, had 146 for 2 touchdowns. This Raiders team is a little shorthanded. No Hunter Renfrow. They're also not going to have Darren Waller. And so Davante Adams is going to be called upon. And when you look at that secondary for the Seahawks, Tariq Woolen is probably the guy that's going to be covering Davante Adams most of the time. As much as I love Tariq Woolen, as good of a rookie year he's had, I'm a little nervous, to be quite frank, because you're taking on one of the best receivers in football here, whether it's getting 2 guys like throwing Kobe Bryant there or bringing Quandre Diggs over, whatever it may be. I would like to see Tariq Woolen get some help in covering Davante Adams personally. So that, to me, makes me nervous. not a diss on Woolen at all, but more so out of respect for Davante Adams as far as covering him goes. What's your confidence level in stopping Davante Adams? Scale it for me 1 through 10 in the comments section. Can the Seahawks find a way to shut down Davante Adams? Let me know. Scale it for me 1 through 10 in the comments section below. All right, number 3 on keys to victory for Seattle, starting fast. And we have talked a lot about with this Seahawks team this year that they've done a really good job of getting off to quick starts, that they have scored more points in the first quarter than any team in the NFL this year. And what's really fascinating when it comes to those fast starts, Seattle has outscored their opponents 64-38. And think about this, okay? Just prior to the bye week, when the Seahawks took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seahawks started out slow. That resulted in a loss. You got to go back to what you did in that win streak. Almost every game that the Seahawks were winning in that win streak was when they were getting off to quick starts. So it's important for the Seahawks, not only for the offense to get going, but for the defense to get those 3 and outs and minimize the Raiders right from the jump as quickly as possible and get off to that quick start there. Number 4 on my keys to victory for Seattle. It's running the ball with Kenneth Walker III, K9 as we like to call him. And as a rookie, K9 has been just terrific this year. And get this, games that he rushes over 90 yards, Seattle is 3-0, okay? The Seahawks are 4-1 with him as a starter. The one loss being last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he was held to what? 17 rushing yards. So, it doesn't take a genius to just put the 2 and 2 together here. Okay, if we run the ball with Kenneth Walker effectively, you win. That's how it goes. So, yes, Kenneth Walker. Got to get the run game going with Kenneth Walker. Establish the run it down their throats, make it painful, and go from there. So, yes, run the ball with Kenneth Walker III is going to be vital for winning this football game. Who will be the Seahawks MVP against the Raiders? Will it be Kenneth Walker or will it be Tariq Woolen, Geno Smith, DK? Who's the guy going to be that's going to be the most valuable player to get the job done against Las Vegas? Let me know in the comments section below who that one player will be. Give me one name and let me know. Now, I want to make sure you're subscribed to Seahawks Today, and you may be wondering, why should I subscribe? Well, you're going to get daily news and rumors segments, live shows on Wednesdays, and our watch parties for every game day, including this Sunday. We're going to go live around 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and we're going to react to the game in real time. We're going to have a couple drinks on hand here, too, and we'll do a little pregame show. We'll do a postgame mailbag. It's going to be an experience like you've never seen before. If you've never been a part of our Seahawks Today watch parties, be a part of this one. You'll be glad you did. It is a dandy of a time here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. Last key for the Seahawks, number 5, involves Geno Smith because, of course, it involves Geno Smith. And with me, I look at with Geno, you got to just let Geno fly. Let her rip, okay? Geno Smith, we all know, has been incredible this year. He's an MVP candidate. He has had himself a heck of a season. And according to the nerds at Pro Football Focus, get this. And I know some of you are going to say, let Geno cook, and that's real funny. Listen to this statistic here from Geno Smith, according to PFF. The passing grade for Geno, when it comes to passes of 20 yards or more, his passing grade is 97.4. That's insane, folks. And then, on top of that, as you see on your screen right now, the Seahawks have the most touchdowns in the league of 20 yards or more, 13 total. Now, obviously, some of that includes some run plays too, but Geno is extremely effective when it comes to throwing the football deep in those big-time plays. So, you're not at a point anymore where you're hoping Geno just manages the game. No, you can trust him to go out there and let her rip and get the deep ball going. Chicks love the long ball, so just make it happen. Let Geno do his thing. Let Geno cook, let her rip, and that should be a big key to the Seahawks' success. I will give my final prediction here in just a second. Before I do, though, Predict the score for me. How does this game go on Sunday between the Seahawks and the Raiders? Let me know in the comment section below what you think the final score will be. My pick for this game, I'm going with Seattle. I think they get it done 30-20. I think there's going to be a lot of offense in this game. A high-scoring affair, but Seattle gets it done in the fourth quarter. They put those fours up. They get it done in crunch time when it matters most and get this victory. The over hits, the Seahawks win. Everyone's happy, and the Seahawks cover. 30-20 is my final. So to recap, keys to victory. Slow down Josh Jacobs. Take away Devontae Adams. Get off to a fast start. Pound the rock with K9, with Kenneth Walker, and let Geno Smith fly. Let Geno cook. Let him do his thing, and the Seahawks should be in great shape. As always, you can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, at Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Seattle Seahawks on those social media platforms. And I will see you next time here on Seahawks Today. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us. All right. So we got one more segment left here. We will do another mailbag here. But before we get to that, predict the score for me. What is going to be the score on Sunday between the Seahawks and the Raiders as I bring back in Jeremy Chugs. Jeremy, what's the score going to be, you think? Okay, he's fixing something here. And you know, we'll see if Jeremy makes some enemies with the Raider fans when he picks the Seahawks here. I think that's what's going to happen. I see Dodgers Everything says, I smell trap game. 27-23 Raiders says Dodgers Everything. I think Dodgers Everything's a Raider fan, though. So take that for what it's worth. 30-20 is my score. What do you guys got? Let us know in the comment section. I see Troy says 31-23 Raiders with last drive and Woolen picks off Carr targeting Adams. Dat Fat Rat says, what number was Tariq better looking, 27 or 39? Well, he's been playing great wearing 27, so I'll take 27. Charlie the Unicorn says 24-20 Seattle. Allen says 34-17 Seattle. What do you guys got? What's your pick for this game? Put it in the chat there, and I'll read off the picks of what you guys have for how this game will ultimately play out on Sunday. So far, it looks like I see, what is that, about 3 votes for the Seahawks and 1 for the Raiders. Jeremy, how about you?
I think it might be a trap game.
Ooh. Okay.
I think it might be a trap game.
Okay.
Going 27-24. Raiders.
No, you did not. Jeremy Chugs just took the Raiders, folks. Spam boo Chugs in the chat.
I think it might be a trap game.
Whoa. Okay. Folks, I'm not picking against the Seahawks here. I got the Seahawks winning. Let's see. Dat Fat Rat says 27-17 Hawks. Let's see. Charlie the Unicorn says Faders. Dodgers Everything says Chugs Raiders. Seigan says 31-23 Seahawks. Okay. Dirty D says, oh, hells no. Letting him have it. Dat Fat Rat says, no longer my uncle. No longer Uncle Chugs. You've been disowned. You're kicked out of the family.
Wow.
Alan says, Chugs, not my favorite anymore unless it's a trap game.
That's what I said.
That's what he said. I'll admit that. Scotty says, boo. Okay. Hawks family says 28-24. All right. Enough hitting on Chugs there. Let's talk Thanksgiving.
Hitting on me.
Yeah. Let's talk Thanksgiving food now. What is the most overrated Thanksgiving food item? For me, this is very easy. The most overrated Thanksgiving food is, without a doubt, cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce is nasty.
Boo.
It is
Boo.
disgusting. I do not trust anybody that likes cranberry sauce. If you like cranberry sauce, you are a fraud, and your opinions on everything in life are basically invalid.
Tyler, you're wrong.
You like cranberry sauce?
Dodgers Everything. I got the Fireball right here.
Dodgers Everything. He's got Fireball. I got Patron.
Oh.
Every $5 is a shot.
Most overrated Thanksgiving food? Pecan pie.
Pecan pie. What's wrong with pecan pie?
Pecan pie is not good.
Pecan pie is fine.
Nah, it's like
You just haven't had good pecan
it is
pie.
It is a bottom tier pie.
Dodgers Everything wants the boot. Dodgers Everything.
We're about $108 away from the boot.
$107 away from the boot.
107.
Who is going to step up? Who is going to make me take down a Thanksgiving boot?
Cranberry
The Seahawks
sauce
boot.
is delicious.
Every $100
You're
gets you a
high.
spot on the boot, by the way. Hawks family with a good one. Beets. Beets are nasty.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's overrated. I don't know a lot of people that like beets.
That's true.
I think pecan pie is overrated.
Let's see. Charlie says most underrated is candy yams. I don't like yams, personally.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Dodgers Everything. $10 with the Raiders. Folks,
Raiders.
the Raiders have come in today, and they are owning our Super Chats. I mean, folks, are we really going to let the Raiders take over this show today?
Troy, I'm the same way. I like the fake cranberry sauce that comes in the can.
Dodgers Everything. We'll each take a shot.
L'chaim.
Jeremy, do your Raider chant. The when you yell out Raiders or whatever.
Raiders.
You see what you guys did? Because the Raider fan got in here and got the super chat, the Jeremy belted out a Raiders in there. So here's a shot to you. So if you don't want the Raiders to control this show, get the super chat battle going.
And I saw something earlier. Turkey's not overrated. Turkey's delicious. You just haven't had good turkey if you're saying turkey.
Turkey's fine. Turkey, I'll say, Jeremy, like turkey is not my favorite dish, but it's fine. It's accessible. It's not something I'm going to eat every day, but I'll eat it on Thanksgiving. It's fine. I don't understand why there's so much hate on turkey.
Dude, I love turkey.
Yeah.
Turkey, arguably, one of the best sandwiches.
Yeah.
Turkey sandwich.
I'll say
Out
this.
of the deli meats, turkey's top tier.
The best part about Thanksgiving is the leftovers the next few days when you can heat up, have more turkey and more dressing and mashed potatoes and all that, and just eat it for days on end. Don't have to go out
Charlie
anywhere.
says ham over turkey.
Ham over turkey.
So
Interesting.
same with Troy. Ham over turkey.
Matt
A
says
good turkey though is great.
Matt says green bean casserole's overrated. I love green bean casserole. I make some good GBC.
Yeah.
That's what I make. I'll be making that tomorrow as GBC.
French onions on the top.
French onions, you betcha.
You know what's really good?
What's that?
Mix in some Funyuns with the French onions.
Funyuns, huh? I haven't had Funyuns on green bean casserole. I love some broccoli rice casserole too. That's a good option.
Love that.
What else are we saying? Dirty D, if it's juicy, it's bomb.
That's what you.
Bonk.
The juicier, the better. Right, Tyler?
Yes.
Tyler loves it juicy.
I don't even know what to say to that. Oh, man. Brian's got the Seahawks 28-21. We got one more mailbag coming up. Use the hashtag Seahawks to get in the mailbag. You can also super chat, and you'll skip the line. Your question will come up first when it comes to the mailbag. Dirty D says, whoa, that sounds kind of good with Funyuns.
Ooh, glazed ham.
Glazed ham.
Dude, next day, glazed ham, grilled cheese.
Yes.
A grilled cheese with some glazed ham in the middle, amazing.
Yeah?
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, man. Glazed ham. So for me, it's turkey, Thanksgiving. Glazed ham for Christmas. I got a $5 super chat. Another Raider fan.
Ew.
Where'd the Raider fans come from today? How did you guys find us? How did you get here? Raiders stuffing, kind of mid.
Oh, no. Well, first, Raiders from Hezzo. But stuffing's delicious.
Little $5 super chat. I'll take a shot.
Get those questions in.
By the way, there is a difference between stuffing and dressing. I'm a team dressing. Dressing is better. than stuffing.
Tyson, yep. When the gravy is legit, mashes the crown. Oh,
To
yeah.
Henzo, even if you are a Raider fan, cheers to you. That Fat Rat says they got bored of Mitchell Renz. No, we love Mitch
funny.
around here. He's our desk mate.
David, you wanna read David's?
Seahawks. Did I get that?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
You could have gone a little bit longer on the C. I think you went longer on the Hawks.
Yeah. It's got to be a super chat for me to get the long Seahawks. I did the Raiders because it was.
I feel like you could do a good Seahawks.
Yeah. Let's show the super chat menu, by the way, because we have people that are just now joining us, just now getting in. Here's where we're at today, folks. Happy hour special. Any super chat gets you a shout out. $2, you can ask me or Jeremy Chugs anything. $5, we'll take a shot. Every $10, we'll chug a beer. And if we get to $150 in super chats, we will take down a boot. Here's the boot right here, the Seahawks boot. You send in 100, you get a spot in the Seahawks Boot Hall of Fame. Even if you're a Raider fan, we'll induct you on the Seahawks Boot Hall of Fame. And by the way, we're at $58 in super chats right now.
$92 away.
$92 away from taking down a boot here on Seahawks Today. So
There you have it.
that is what we're offering. One more mailbag. Use hashtag Seahawks or super chat.
Last chance to
on
get
the
those
show.
questions in.
Yes. Last chance. Final segment. Mailbag time. Send it your way, whatever you guys got for our final segment of the show, which starts coming up right now. Jeremy, we all set? We ready to go?
I think we're ready.
All right. Let's do it. It is Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. It is time for another Seahawks Today mailbag. You have questions, and I have answers. And so we will get right to those in just one moment from right now. Before we get that, though, you may be wondering, well, how do I get involved in the mailbags? Well, it's quite simple. If you subscribe to the channel, then you would know when we go live. And then you could get in the chat and send in your questions. Super chatters get first dibs when it comes to the mailbag, but if you use the hashtag Seahawks, then you can get on the show as well. I'll go to our first question. This one is from Christopher, $50 super chat. Christopher coming in hot with that one. Christopher, we owe you quite a bit, and we will get all that taken care of for you, I promise. But thank you, Christopher, for the super chat there, and we're pretty close to taking down a boot here. I believe that puts us $43 away from taking down a boot. If you're watching the VOD version of this show, I encourage you to go watch the live show from earlier in the week, and you'll make more sense of this. But I think that means I owe a long, drawn-out Seahawks for that. So here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Seahawks! How was that, Jeremy Chugs? Jeremy Chugs says yes. That was, I guess, my version of it from the Raider chant. All right. Hulk Smash says, do you think we will have a good draft again this year? I think so. John Schneider and Pete Carroll and company did their homework. And for the second straight year, they have 9 draft picks. 9! Yes. So, I mean, we'll see when the picks are made what happens, but, I mean, I have no reason to think why they won't have a good draft again. Yes, I do think that they will have a good draft coming up in 2023 and continue to build this franchise and get this thing going. Rod Hector writes, first pick pass rusher, second pick cornerback, third pick linebacker, fourth Houston quarterback. I believe that's Clayton Tune. From the school in Jeremy Chugs' hometown in Houston. What do you think? I'm not high on Clayton Tune, but fourth-round pick, I guess, wouldn't be bad for Clayton Tune. Cornerback, I don't know if I'm using the second-round pick on a cornerback when you just found 2 studs in the last draft in Tariq Woolen and Kobe Bryant. Linebacker, third round, yeah, that could make sense. Pass rusher in the first round, that could make sense. So that's what I think about that, Raw Hector. Raw Hector, it's an interesting take, but I don't necessarily agree with all of that. But a very good question. We'll see how it plays out there. Stiff Line writes in, Are you worried about the 49ers winning the division? Am I worried about that? To be honest, yes. Yes, I am. Tiebreaker right now goes to the Niners. And for me, it's not a knock on Seattle. I don't think the Seahawks are all of a sudden going to start losing a bunch of football games here. It's more so because of what the Niners are capable of. They're playing much better football as of late. Jimmy G's looked really good. He's playing arguably the best football of his career at this point in time. You added McCaffrey to the mix as well. To me, that's what I'm watching for, is what the 49ers are capable of. That's, to me, what has me hesitant, is not the Seahawks, but more so what the Niners are putting together on that front. So that's why I'm concerned when it comes to the 49ers in the division race. Confidence level in the Seahawks winning the NFC West. Scale it for me, 1 through 100. Say it with your chest. The pinned comment today. Can the Seahawks get it done? Will they win the NFC West? How confident are you that they are going to do so? Scale it 1 through 100. Let me know in the comment section below if you think the Seahawks will get it done. Spider fan writes, do you think it's funny that the Jets quarterback situation is a mess and the Seahawks have former Jet Geno Smith balling out? Absolutely, I do think it's hilarious. The Jets have been a dumpster fire for, what's the last time they made the playoffs? 2010, I think it is. It is hysterical. And they gave up on Geno Smith pretty fast. And they just benched Zach Wilson, their rookie. And they've drafted a couple quarterbacks since Geno Smith, too. So for the fact that they've gotten to this point where Geno is playing lights out, and we've seen that Zach Wilson, who they turned down 3 first-round picks for to hold on to Zach Wilson, the fact that that's gone the way it has, to me, I do find it comical. The Jets are a laughingstock. You know, we make fun of the Raiders from time to time on this show, but the Jets, they know how to suck even more than the Raiders do. So, with that said, yes, I do find it hilarious that the Jets are going through this turmoil right now. Seahawks Today is sponsored by Established Titles. Established Titles is a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners referred to as lairds or lords in ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted, and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. You can officially include the title Lord or Lady on your credit cards, plane tickets, dating profiles, and more. Makes for a great last-minute gift. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. Depending on how many of you want to become a Lord or a Lady, we can build our little Seahawks Today kingdom together. Established Titles is actually running a massive holiday sale right now with discounts up to 80% off. Plus, if you use the code CHAT, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat to get your gifts now and help support the channel here at Seahawks Today. That's establishedtitles.com/chat for that extra 10% off to get yours now. All right, let's continue. We got more questions to get to. This one from Charlie the Unicorn. What was the greatest single moment of Seahawks history? The NFC Championship game on way to the Super Bowl, end zone, the flip, or would it be Beastquake? Beastquake was awesome. You mentioned all those things. For me, it's hard to get any better than winning the Super Bowl itself. When they took down Peyton Manning and that Broncos team and dominated in the fashion that they did, the game was in New York and was the first ever Super Bowl in a cold climate, so that was unique, and in New York City, nonetheless. To me, just winning a championship is as good as it gets. So for me, that's the greatest single moment, is winning that Super Bowl and getting it done there. Next question. Would you move on from Diggs next year and find a different free safety and keep Neal at strong safety? Diggs has felt underwhelming. Yeah, the numbers on Quandre Diggs have not been good this year. He's had a down year, and he hasn't really adjusted to Clint Hurts' system all that much at this point in time. And so, with that said, would I move on from Quandre Diggs? I don't know if I'd necessarily move on from him because I don't know how much better you're going to get and if that necessarily helps you out when it comes to cap space. But I would certainly evaluate all my options and see where things go from there, quite frankly. He has been underwhelming. I like what I've seen from Ryan Neal. We'll see what happens. But I think your best point of action is to continue to look to the draft. You already know Jamal Adams has had his injury issues, as is Quandre Diggs for that matter. I fully expect the Seahawks to be drafting at that safety spot here in 2023. Is Kenneth Walker a top 5 running back in the league? Says Gary. I think so. I mean, think about the top running backs out there. You're going to face one this week in Josh Jacobs. Obviously, you got Saquon Barkley. You have Christian McCaffrey. Those are 3 of them, okay? And then your next batch of running backs, I think he's in there. You know, he's at least top 10 right now. As far as I'm concerned. But, yeah, I mean, he deserves a spot. I don't know if the number is 5, 6, 7, or whatever it is, but I think at a bare minimum, he is a top 10 back. But, yeah, he certainly deserves to be a part of the conversation when it comes to a top 5 back as far as I'm concerned. And he has been one of the best running backs in the league when it comes to yards after contact as well. Has been terrific. Kenneth Walker is a blank running back in the NFL. Fill in the blank for me. What is he? Is he top 5 back, top 10 back, 15, 20, 2, 1, whatever it is? I'm very curious. Fill in that blank for me in the comments section of what you think Kenneth Walker is, where he belongs among the elite running backs in the league. Ashley writes, do you think the Seahawks will go after Melvin Gordon? I, at this point, don't think so. At the time we're taping this, it's Wednesday afternoon, and a couple days have, he had to go through waiver claims and all that, and, I think they would have gotten him by now, essentially, if they really wanted him. But Melvin Gordon's a really good football player. He's just had those fumbling issues this year. I believe he had 5 fumbles with the Broncos, lost 2 of them, cost him a job there. I don't know necessarily if Pete Carroll and company want to take on that problem, quite frankly, if they want to deal with that. So I like Melvin Gordon. He'd be the number 2 back on this Seahawks team, but I don't see them picking him up, but we'll see. Marcus writes, do you think that Geno is our man for the future? I think he is for now. I would say at least for next year, and then potentially beyond after that. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's a situation I think that you can make similar to what Kansas City did with Patrick Mahomes and with Alex Smith, where Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith until he was ready. Then they moved on from Alex Smith, and Patrick Mahomes blossomed from there. I think for the Chiefs, you have bought time with Geno Smith. He can be your placeholder until you find that next guy and let him sit under Geno and then throw him to the fire after that. So I think he's for the present, for the current future, yes, but 2 or 3 years, we'll see. Man in a Pit writes, how do we hack the Crosby effect? Max Crosby, that is, of the Raiders. How do we hack it? Great question. I don't know necessarily how you hack the Crosby effect. Max Crosby's been a terrific football player. The Raiders certainly like what they have in Max Crosby. For all the issues the Raiders have dealt with over the last couple of years and all the uncertainty, the one constant has been Max Crosby. So I don't know how you hack it, but he's a heck of a football player and certainly deserves a lot of respect. That Fat Rat says, best free agent Seattle should go re-sign next year, like Poona Ford, Austin Blythe, and Marquise Goodwin. Well, the best one off the top is Geno Smith, obviously. Geno's contract's up. I think Seattle's going to sign Drew Lock. I think they're going to bring him back as well. His contract's going to be up. Poona Ford, I expect to be back. I'd be shocked if Austin Blythe is back at this point. I think they're going to be looking at younger options at that center position. Marquise Goodwin, we'll see. I'd like to see more from Marquise Goodwin personally. I think he's capable of playing at a higher level than what he's been. But, yes, we'll see. Those are some guys to keep in mind there. Last question from Gray writes, if we got a top 3 pick from that Denver pick, would you use it or trade back? Depends on what I was offered. I mean, we were talking earlier that, a couple of years ago, the Jets turned down 3 first-round picks and chose to take Zach Wilson. If you hold that number 3 pick and get offered 3 first-round picks, I think you consider trading back. Just depends on what they offer you. But top 3, I think Will Anderson, if he's available, you take him, and then kind of go from there. We'll see. But 3 first-round picks or Will Anderson. I kind of lean towards Will Anderson if he's there, but I don't think – I'll add this caveat here real quick. Based on the way that we've seen things go in the past with the draft, and every year's different, but historically speaking, the big blockbuster deals to move into the top 3 usually happen before the draft occurs. I don't think you'll be in a position to – do we – take the 3 first, or do we take Will Anderson, knowing if Will Anderson's going to be available at 3 on draft night, when you're on the clock of some sorts? That's a decision I think you'd have to make prior to the draft beginning, but something to think about there. As always, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. Hope you have a great rest of your Thanksgiving weekend. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, 12s, I want to make sure that you're here on Sunday for our Seahawks-Raiders watch party. We will get things going about 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific with a little pregame show, a little pregame party, and then we'll cover the game in real time, have a few drinks on hand, and then afterwards we'll do our live postgame mailbag and more coming up on Sunday. Be here. You'll be glad you did. All right, so we had that super chat coming in for Christopher Bryson. Christopher, now we will properly take care of this. Because we're in the mailbag, obviously, but we'll take care of things now. Jeremy, I'll crack open a beer from you. We can chug together. We got to take 5 chugs.
Oh, I was going to take some shots for him.
Okay, you take some shots. I'll take some chugs. And here's where we're at in Super Chats, folks. We are $42 away from the boot. Okay?
Das.
$42 away. Are we going to take down the boot today or not? It's up to you guys. It's your show. Can we do it? Christopher, let me go ahead and take some chugs for you. There's one. And I believe we drowned out the Raider fans, by the way. We put a call to action. The Raider fans were holding their own in the chat today.
And Christopher Bryson.
But Christopher stepped up, and the 12s, they came to play. So kudos to you, Christopher, and all the 12s out there for holding our own when the Raider fans tried to take over our chat today. So, Christopher, there's one. I gotta do a few more of these. You've taken a few shots as well.
Oh, yeah. And guys, I'm going to put up the clock. We have 3 minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes for a super chat, or are we trying to get to something?
3 minutes for a super chat, or we got to go?
Any super chat, we stay on. Otherwise, we sign off. Show the super chat menu if you would.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher. That's right, Charlie. $42. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
Dirty deed. Thundering. Dirty deed. Thundering. Dirty
All
deed. Thundering. What's that wide receiver plug?
There's
Dirty deeds and the thundering.
There's 3 chugs. I owe 2 more. Any super chat, we stay on. Clock is on. Otherwise, we sign off. $42 away from taking down the boot. And Christopher with that 50. By the way, Christopher was able to get me a Seahawks jersey.
Oh.
When we did that show a couple weeks ago. I'm going to wear it on Sunday for the very first time. It is a Jones 69 jersey, my favorite number. Very nice number.
Feels like the first time.
2 more chugs.
Feels like the very first time. $2. 2 minutes away. 2 minutes left on the shot clock.
2 minutes on the shot clock. Any super chat, we stay on. Otherwise, we sign off. $42 away from the boot. Christopher is okay. Here we go. Josh sends in $1. Okay, Josh.
There we go.
Shout out to you, Josh.
Real one.
A real one indeed.
Upside down face.
What are you frowning about, Josh? Mm-hmm. Josh, we're having a good time. Happy Thanksgiving.
Turn that frown upside down.
Charlie says, excellent Seahawks shirt choice, Tyler. Which color? I think he's talking about the jersey. So, in case you don't know, folks, this right here is a green screen. So I could not wear anything that had green very big of a Seahawks jersey. Kind of limited or options. So I had to go with the white Seahawks jersey just to play it safe.
Yeah.
With the green screen here. I didn't want to just disappear. So I have the white Seahawks jersey with the number 69 says Jones. So that is what we have, and I will be wearing it on Sunday.
Josh, that puts a minute on the clock for us now.
1 minute, and we are now $41 away from Das Boot. Any super chat we stay on.
A boot to start your Thanksgiving weekend.
What a way to start Thanksgiving. If I took down a boot, that'd be awesome.
I love that for you.
I'm going to be doing a lot of drinking anyway. Might as well start now.
Josh said it's because his Packers suck.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what the frown face was about. Josh, you can jump. You can jump on board. Jump on the Seahawks bandwagon.
Yeah, join the bandwagon.
How much time we got left?
30 seconds.
30 seconds on the clock. Any super chat we stay on. Otherwise, we sign off. Josh with another $1.
All right, I'll restart the minute.
All right. Josh buying time. And buying closer to the boot. $40 away from the boot. Is the boot going to happen today, or will we have to hold off potentially till Sunday?
Can he get there?
Can he get there? Let's see. Any super chat gets you a shout out. $2. You can ask me or Jeremy Chugs anything. $5 will take a shot. Tequila is in hand. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Tequila.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey.
$10 will chug a beer, and every $150 will take down the boot. We're 40 away. I still owe 2 more beer chugs to Christopher, too.
And now we got about 35 seconds left on the clock. Christopher said we're not going anywhere. Not so fast, sweetheart.
Christopher throws down 5.
$35. We're inching closer. We're $35 away from the boot.
So, okay, Chris. So Chris is he has sent in $55. Okay. Here's a little math for you. 35 away from the boot, and we are 45 away from Chris getting another spot on the Boot Hall of Fame. And Christopher's already got me the jersey. Oh, here we go.
Josh.
We got to take a couple more shots. Jeremy, take this one for Josh.
Yeah, I got you. Josh, who from Chat Sports would you not want to bring home to your parents?
Jeremy, you answer first. I want to hear you first. You've been here longer than I have. You know these people a little bit more.
Who would I not want to take home to my parents?
Yes.
Will.
Yeah. I mean, your parents might be a little freaked out, if they saw Will walk in.
What about you?
I would say who I would not want to take home to my parents. Probably Harry. Like, who's this bearded guy? Why doesn't he shave? Why does he got that dirty beard going?
Shots
Shots
fired. Harrison Graham, shots fired.
One for me and one for you on the shots, by the way. I'll take this one for Josh. You take that for Christopher.
And with that, we set our clock back at a minute.
All right. So, $30 away from the boot. Oh, we got an Eagles fan here?
Hezzo
resets the clock.
Oh!
Brandon with $10 coming in.
$15 away.
15 from the boot.
So I'll do the shot for Hezzo if you want to do the chug for Brando.
You know what? And I'm feeling good. I'm going to do a little jungle boot here.
Ooh.
I'm going to put this tequila shot in the Michelob Ultra and take that chug.
I do not like that. Here we go.
$15 away from the boot.
Brandon.
Oh. Let's go, Brandon.
Are you streaming tomorrow? We are not streaming tomorrow, but
Cowboys is and Vikings is.
And Giants.
Cowboys, Vikings, and Giants.
Yep. Those 3 are streaming tomorrow, so we will have some Chat Sports live streams for Thanksgiving for you.
So, Marshall Green, he stopped by earlier. Oh, there it is. Boot time.
Hey-o!
Get the boot ready.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Christopher says we're not done. We're not done yet. The boot is happening. Me or you on the boot?
How are we feeling?
I got to drive here soon.
Okay, so you promised the boot, and you give it to me.
No, I said I'll do it.
I'll take the boot, Tyler. Don't worry.
Jeremy, thank you, buddy. I'll. I was gonna do it, but if Jeremy wants to, then we'll let Jeremy take care of the boot. Yeah. All right. So Jeremy is gonna take care of the boot. Christopher have $100 in the pot. Boot Hall of Fame. So Christopher, quick math, 50 and 20, that's 70. Christopher is 30 away from another spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. Christopher, the boot is going to happen. Dirty D says Chugs needs to Chugs. Yes. We love it when Jeremy Chugs goes all out here on Seahawks Today. He'll be bringing us the boot here momentarily. We're not done yet. You know, it's so funny. We were just about to sign off. And then you guys came through and said, nope, you guys are doing a boot today. So, Troy says, LOL. Henso says, bro, sweating. Hey, I thought I was going to have to do it. Thank you, Chugs. Chugs bailed me out today. I owe Chugs one for taking care of business. David says, for the team. Yes, Chugs is a team player. He's a team player for sure. Let's see. What else you guys saying here? All right. Here's the boot. The Seahawks boot. Christopher. Shout out Christopher. Everybody spam CB in the chat for Christopher. CB getting it done. He's already on the Boot Hall of Fame. Chugs has been bamboozled?
That's what they said.
Okay. So, folks, Jeremy's about to hop on screen here. Spam CB in the chat for Christopher Bryson. What are you feeling time-wise today, Jeremy? What do you think you can do?
Well, Thanksgiving special?
Yeah.
8 seconds?
8? Okay. What do you guys think?
8 seconds?
Over, under, 8 seconds. Type O for over, type U for under. Charlie's saying 14. You can beat 14. That's fine. But O for over, U for under, 8 seconds. Get it in the chat right now.
Woo.
And also spam Chugs. You ready?
Yeah, and then after this, I know you have to get out of here, so I'll do the boot, and then we're gonna sign off.
Yes.
Until Sunday.
Till Sunday. And Sunday's going to be a heck of a time. Troy saying under. Okay.
Get it.
All right.
Get it.
Here we go. Wayne's saying 8.3.
Shooting his shot.
8.3. We're trying to go under 8.
Okay, Wayne almost got it last time.
Hezzo's saying over under 5.
Oh, that would be it's gonna be over. I've never reached 5.
Are we going to get you in the lemonade jugging contest in New York?
I'm thinking about it. It's a gallon though.
How fast is the time of the winner?
23 seconds.
23.
I did the math. That's a little bit more than 3 boots.
And there's a lot more sugar in a gallon of lemonade. Okay. We might have to do some practice. We can get you ready for it.
Yes.
We can have him chug some lemonade. All right. Spam Chugs in the chat. Everybody, I think, is all in agreement. It's going to be under, except Brandon. Brandon's a hater. That's okay. Although Brandon's sitting in a super chat, so shout out to you, Brandon. Spam Chugs in the chat, and let's get going. Let's see Jeremy get under 8 seconds here for this boot. Spam Chugs in the chat. I got the timer ready. I'll be on the play-by-play. Let's see Chugsy get it done.
All right.
All right, you loosened up? You ready?
Yeah, I'm all loose.
Okay. Here we go. Count them down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's off. Clock is rolling. Jeremy's taking it down. Oh, yes. Get in that. Yes, go, go, go. Oh! There it is. Under 8. Under 8. 7.61. Let's go. Jeremy Chugs. Jeremy Chugs. Let's go. Chugs. Spam Chugs in the chat. How about that? Under 8. 7.6. What a performance. What a performance, Jeremy Chugs. Oh. Nice work, buddy. On that note, we will go. Guys, it's been a fun day. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your loved ones. Be back here Sunday. We're going to get started about 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific is when we will be on the air. We'll do a little pregame action, cover the game in real time, have a few more drinks in hand, do postgame show as well, all right here on Seahawks Today. Big thanks to Christopher Bryson, our MVP today, coming through. Some of our Raider fans that even came by. We appreciate you guys as well. Brandon, Josh, and everybody that's been here with us today. We will see you back here on Sunday. For Jeremy Chugs, I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks.